I'm going to be anonymous and this voice isn't mine. I'm gonna give my take on this situation with Tommy and Dream. There are many things I agree with and disagree with, about what Dream said, Tommy said, and you said. I'm honestly not sure where to start, but the very beginning of the recent drama is about Dream, out of the blue, making a not very nice tweet in the midst of Tommy, XQC and Mizkif. All I know from the videos I've watched, is that Tommy and Mizkif find each other cringe and rude, and XQC also butted in and tweeted SMTH directed at Tommy, calling him cringe, which Tommy snapped back. To be honest, why did XQC even butt in? Similar to what Dream did in my opinion, just the action of butting in, not the intention/meaning of their tweets. Please comment on everything I say, wherever you feel the need to, and please state what you disagree and agree on/ what you feel or think and why. Thank you. I agree with how Dream tries his best to defend and explain with all the evidence he has. His effort is good. However, knowing that Dream lacks the real truth and story of some things, I'll elaborate later on in Tubbo's section, he should not have used all his evidences like Discord screenshots of convos. You should only put forth your evidences if it is absolutely the entire truth. If there is even a tiny possibility that there could be more to the story than you currently know, don't use it. Or don't act or even suggest like you know the whole truth. Such as him stating Tommy underpays his editors, and in fact the low pay was only due to her starting out as a first-time editor for Tommy. Carrot. However, Dream's point did not have important value and is very misleading and incriminating towards Tommy. The logistics of legal and illegal, choice of words is very important, and even a small misphrase can cause something legal into illegal. And Dream has to understand that, yes, he meant a company Tommy worked with, and not the ambiguous Tommy's company, and yes, he can make a pinned comment or edit the video with extra text. But that brings me to my next point. He should have asked himself if this is the right and correct thing to say, before posting and editing. Yes, his words are defamation against Tommy, and legal action/punishment for Tommy is jail, and the way you, Tubbo, is so mad at Dream for defaming Tommy, are you worried Dream's illegal accusation towards Tommy might get him jailed? I mean, since we're talking about legalities. But I'm honestly not too sure about this topic, so please give your more accurate input. And now what I disagree heavily with what Dream did. The tweet involving the word retarded. From my own research, I've seen videos and discussions about how people can or want to reclaim the slur into something harmless. Given that the slur must and always cannot be used out of malice towards neurodivergent people and etc. And best to be directed at yourself, within your close friends/family circle, and avoid directing it at the public because you won't know who is reading it and backlash will be the consequence, that is out of your control. And this is the exact reason why I think Dream is careless to post that tweet. Anyone can see it and of course there will be judgment and backlash. He should have expected it and not act surprised or feel the need to defend himself. If I were him and I posted something controversial like that, I wouldn't even come out with an apology. I'd straight up ask myself, why TF did I even do that for? So yes, Dream, before doing something, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is this going to make things better? And if he genuinely believe it is okay to say this, do this, it might be okay for him only, in others not so much. Dream needs to put himself in others' shoes and do things that accommodates to others' perspectives. I know he's a content creator and he can't possibly stress himself to do this self-evaluation each time he posts something. Actually he should. It's a very simple and quick question one can ask themselves. And if he has done this before, thinking before doing, he should do it again but with a different question like, what will I gain out of this? And for Dream and his sexism issue. Yes, Dream asks for specifics regarding to when and how he was sexist so he can improve accordingly. Also the two girls he called a whore, one is a mutual friend so no harm done and the other was a friend's friend or something so harm was done. I think this is more than enough reason for Dream to just be more careful from now on when speaking about women, especially if it's not someone you're close with. No need for more evidence, Dream. Just don't do it from now on and be more respectful. I think the main problem with Dream is he has to learn to admit when he's wrong, even when it's hard and makes him look bad. A mistake is bad and that's okay. You can't be good all the time and have accountability, such as a proper apology without extra bits about unrelated topics because he let his emotions take control. Dream needs to stop having a shallow mindset that makes him really seem like a guy who doesn't put himself in others' shoes. Like Dream, try to understand the other person's perspective and accept it without any buts. Sometimes saying the wrong thing is wrong, and to admit it, accept it, and prevent it from ever happening again is what will make you a good person. You can spend your days saying stuff you truly believe is correct, but try speaking in other people's language.
What I agree with what Tommy said or did is his authenticity and realness. He is very in touch with his emotions and he expresses them confidently. His video, Dream, is very Tommy, you could say. I don't watch Tommy often, but I recently have, and I find his personality and essence is so funny and real AF. Tommy has a younger fan base, so him defending them when Dream called them a slur is very good, although if his fans are young, they shouldn't be on Twitter, and Tommy is very hardworking with his branding and content, etc. Now on to what I disagree with what Tommy said. Why bring up Dream's friends? Are you mad at Dream for saying the slur like you said in your original first tweet, or are you mad at Dream's friends? I understand his friends made mistakes, but the question still stands. Okay, I get your mom is involved since she worked or works closely with neurodivergent kids, and you volunteered to help. And Dream texted your mom twice during the time she was fighting Twitter warriors. Yes, proof shows he was only expressing concern and whatnot. Well, one of the texts was about that. I'm not sure about the other. I'm also still watching Dream's 3 hours long stream, and then Dream one moment says he texted Tommy's mom twice, but the most recent video, he only talks about him sending any texts. Dream's facts are inconsistent, and he needs to recheck his own videos. But did Tommy need to bring up this mom and Dream texting issue? First, it's adding fuel, mom texts, to the fire. Our slur tweet. Is Tommy mad at Dream for saying the slur, or is he mad at him texting his mom? It is very unclear. Unless he's mad at everything and uses this slur tweet as a catalyst to go off on Dream. Although the dates of each of these issues are not too far apart. I think Tommy should not have crammed so many information into one video. There's a term for this and it is going off topic. And about Dream not having clear context and evidence about the child labor issue, making him commit defamation, jail. Tommy emphasis on his underage age and Dream as a figure of authority or power strongly suggests that
when I was 16, I held that over my head for years.
Or does he not need it because it's a personal opinion, like how he thinks Dream's merch is badly designed? No, these two are incomparable. Like how Tommy mocking Dream's merch design is incomparable to Dream suggesting Tommy of profiting off child labor. Tommy has a background of making predatory accusations against Dream, and it's definitely showing. Why emphasize on his young age? 16 to be exact. People will believe or feel Dream to be abusing his power and position. You held that over my head for years, Tommy. That implies Dream building a relationship with a young Tommy so that he can manipulate Tommy and use their built trust against Tommy. That is by definition grooming. Which Tommy is implying Dream of doing. Some people will infer that. Okay, so if Tommy did not mean that, he should have been clearer, like how Dream should have been clearer about connecting Tommy with child labor. These two are comparable because grooming and profiting off child labor are both crimes, punishable by law and jail. But is Dream suggested as a groomer not as bad as Tommy being accused of profiting off child labor, because one involves money and one doesn't? Please disagree and elaborate if so.
Dean, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years.
The Dream SMP, a lot of your success just wouldn't have happened without me, streaming every single night on the server.
I personally feel like Tommy's main message of Dream not supposed to share a tweet with the slur or use the slur at all, got derailed by so many other factors. Which makes his video a personal recount against Dream rather than a video focusing on the current issue at hand. If you aren't able to express yourself properly and stay on topic, because you have so much other issues to rant about, you are letting your emotions take control of you, and not staying true to your initial intentions. Since Tommy's original tweet was him being mad at Dream for the slur and the slur only. And Tubbo, you absolute goat, you have the most well-balanced view out of Tommy and Dream. You admitted where it was wrong or right, and you even called out your own friend group, while still standing strong on why Dream messed up. I also watched majority of the video about you calling Dream. Dream kept interrupting you, which is wrong. He could have at least said, sorry I interrupted you, please continue, what were you saying? And Tubbo's choice of words was so carefully chosen, and you're very open-minded to critic and etc., and you managed to explain to Dream in a way that not many people would, which is just make fun of Dream, and not care about whatever he says. But, Tubbo, I disagree with a few points you brought up. But firstly, your reaction to Tommy's video, Dream, was mostly just you agreeing and making slight noises. Where was the commentary? Or were you actually blindly agreeing or accepting everything Tommy said? About Dream's friends and Tommy's mom. You clearly didn't like how Dream brought up how much effort he puts into his content and craft when Tommy said, but the difference between me and you, I out-effort my absolute best into all these things. You only commented about the music being a manipulative tactic. And yes, we all agree with you, and you are allowed to say it again and again since music plays throughout the whole video. But when Tommy is essentially boasting about him actually caring and putting in effort as a content creator, while saying Dream does not. Tubbo, do you agree with that? No, not about the music. I've seen the comments calling Dream crazy and Tommy clocking it. So Dream puts lazy effort into his content. Yes, he has a problematic personality, but content is a different thing. Separate art from artist because they aren't the same. You can admit Dream puts effort into his content and still hate him for being a bad person. But you chose to comment on the music when Tommy is literally mocking Dream about something unrelated to the slur, and even included his own mom. And you do realize Tommy, though he didn't use music to manipulate audience feelings. His way of communicating, starting off his Dream video with rhetorical question, Dream called you, the fans and viewers, a slur, do with that how you will. By definition, rhetorical question means a question asked in order to create a dramatic effect, or to make a point rather than to get an answer. Which is what Tommy did at the very beginning of the video. Of course Tommy's reason to do it because Dream said very bad things, so he's expressing that. But to claim Dream uses manipulative tactics in his video and Tommy isn't. And also for the invoice issue, it's so wrong that your leaked invoices got used again for content, once in Coffeezilla's video, and once in Dream's response video. Dream is wrong to use your invoice to suggest it as evidence, even if he meant it as background graphics and taken straight from Coffeezilla's video. But doesn't that make Coffeezilla's also in the wrong? If you want to be mad at Dream, be mad at Coffeezilla for using your invoice. But the problem is, both Coffeezilla and Dream didn't know it was your invoices. Which is wrong for their part. Like I said, if there is even a small chance that there is more to the story than you currently know, don't say it or use it. And Tubbo, you disagreed with how Dream didn't clearly mention how only Tommy and two other guys made predatory accusations against Dream, possibly misleading people into thinking all of Tommy's friends make pedo jokes. Sorry I forgot their names, but I think I remember Jack is one of them, but you agree with how Tommy said all of Dream's friends are misogynistic and sexist. I'm pretty aware of Dream's sexism. But there is no evidence of Sapnap being sexist. So is Tommy right to say all of Dream's friends are sexist, disgusting and shameful? Because we need to have honesty and transparency to avoid generalizing a group of people. And to say Dream is committing a crime, illegal accusations towards Tommy, but when Tommy and his two friends called Dream a groomer and pedo, it's only stupid and wrong. Both accusations involve crime and by law, jail is the punishment for both. So both Dream and Tommy needs to adjust their mindsets, because they are too comfortable with putting grooming and child labor onto each other. And also when you agreed and called out your friend group for making pedo jokes at Dream, you are close with Tommy and those two friends. So you have accountability too. Why didn't you educate or stop them? In my country, a term used for when a person witnessing an unjust behavior by someone, but does nothing and lets it happen, is called a bystander effect. Now for my take, agree or disagree with it. I think fame has gotten into content creators' heads. And that's normal. Be proud and be aware of your fame, you've earned it. Personality will definitely change when you gain popularity. I think Dream has a long and exhausting list of controversies and drama, some of which he settled maturely, and in private, talked to the person affected directly. Because that's who he is. But some he addressed online, to the public, with a heavily edited and quite inaccurate video. Because that's also who he is. He didn't 100% intentionally edit his response video to Tommy, with manipulative music and cleverly placed photos. Yes, the result of his actions does fit that statement, but that's the result. The process of making the video, he did not literally think, I'm going to manipulate people with clever music, but he should reflect on his actions, because a mistake is still a mistake, good intention or not. I think he edited in that way, because at the back of his mind, he feels he has to entertain and impress his hundreds and millions of viewers. Because he is famous, so his highly edited video fits that image of popularity and flamboyance, which you have stated, is not needed. And I agree. But I was just thinking of how he got to that point before I can confidently say his choice of music is manipulative, and he is an absolute bastard. And for Tommy, him saying Dream needs to take time off the internet, very valid, that's honestly a really nice comment. But I think Tommy needs to too. He is clearly very affected by all this drama. I believe he should do what's best for his mental health. Even Tommy speaks and acts the way he is because he has an audience, a big audience. Tubbo, you too. Although you are more down to earth than those two. What would you do if you had no one watching you ever? Would you still say the same thing? Do the same thing? It's the same theory as to how we easily bawl our eyes out when in private by ourselves, but don't when there's even one other person in the same room. And I think conflicts are always best settled in person and in private, no cameras, no taking advantage of the situation to share it on social media later. And of course with Tommy blocking Dream everywhere, settling it public is the only way. No? Wrong? Tommy can unblock Dream and settle it in private. But he can't and he won't. Is he too angry? He doesn't know what to say to him because the public videos have already been made. Or is he scared? Not scared he will lose or get shut down. But because he doesn't know what the outcome will be, given their past history together, and given he is too mad to even be in Dream's range. We will never know. And that's normal too. I've had my own share of experiences with beef with friends, and we angrily exposed each other publicly, and no resolution was ever done, because we never talked to each other about it without an audience around. An audience watching you is the adrenaline that all content creators have and experience.